I'm not Mitch Connor, and this is part 3 of Fairy Tale Storytime. To recap part 1 and 2, links in the description. As I was ending on the last part, he says I'm part of a terrorist organization, which no so-called terrorist would do because they believe they're benevolent. I've never heard of a fucking, Al-Qaeda, ISIS guy actually saying, I'm a terrorist. Really? No, I think not. Alright, to go on where I left off in part 2. The conversation came to an abrupt end. I tore off the hijab and rose to my feet. I called my editor-in-chief and explained. She told me that the story had to end here. Urfa was too big a risk. 2 French journalists sent to the region by a radio station had just been freed after 10 months of captivity at the hands of ISIS. The next morning we flew home. Melody sent Belil a Skype message from the airport, informing him that a strange man had questioned the girls. Yasmin and Melody felt they were being watched and decided to return to France. Melody would make the trip alone, but for now she didn't want to endanger her man or his brigade. She would lie low for a while in Toulouse. Given the situation, this was the best solution for everyone. Back at home, my editors were realizing just how much information I had. Belil had revealed many details about the structure of ISIS and the way new recruits were treated. I began writing. They delayed publication while we got legal advice. I hadn't checked Melody's accounts for 24 hours. I plugged in all of my devices. The Dutch phone had been bombarded with messages. One line stood out. Where are you, you little bitch? I swear to Allah, you're going to pay. Enough. I deactivated my avatar's virtual existence, keeping only her Skype profile. Melody sent a final message apologizing so that her sudden disappearance would arouse suspicion. I had no intention of getting back in touch with him, but I hoped to curb his anger. The more Melody showed remorse, the easier would it be for Belil to move on. After all, he had more important things to do. ISIS was preparing its assault on Iraq. Almost 2 months to the day, it would seize Mosul, Iraq's second biggest city. I gotta stop this for a sec. A week later, the magazine sent my article to press under a pseudonym. And you can't even link that? As if there isn't a frickin' link for it. Come on. There's no proof of anything in here. Anyway, to go on. For me, though, that was only the beginning. The authorities, fearing the terrorists could trace my address and my identity, have twice asked me to change my phone number. I don't live in my apartment anymore. For my safety, I can no longer report on ISIS and its networks. Drastic safety measures have been implemented at my workplace. Okay, a good hacker could trace your address and identity, no fucking problem, okay? When I used to game, I knew numerous people who got messages from people telling them their freaking address, okay? I was not one of them, but I don't think that they were lying, okay? I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure, finding that information for a real hacker is easier than you think. For somebody who's not a hacker, no, not easy. Anyway, the authorities asked me to keep Melody's Skype account open for ongoing investigations and to keep an eye on threats towards me. I don't check it very often. Sometimes when I do, I'm greeted by terrifying messages. They started when someone claiming to be Belil's wife began sending intimidating monologues filled with insults. I stopped counting the number of statements I've given to various branches of the police when it reached 254. An anti-terrorist judge asked me to hear my testimony after my real identity started appearing in a number of their files. At one point, news came that Belil had been killed. But today, multiple branches of the police have classified him as a lie. What the fuck would the police know about that shit? They're police. They're not fucking, an intelligence agency or anything like that, or military. Come on. Really? Go on. They have a thick file on him. He'd committed a number of crimes in France before leaving for Syria, from theft to armed robbery. And this brings me back to when I said, you're worried about him coming back to find you when he's committed a number of crimes before leaving France? Anyway, In 2003, he became an active jihadi in the battle against the U.S. invasion of Iraq. Between 2009 and... sorry, I skipped a sentence. That's when he met ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, to whom he remained close. Baghdadi wasn't even really known around that time. The first instance I know of him is like 2007, okay? If he's known before then, I don't know, but he's a fake freaking entity. Going on. Between 2009 and 2013, after long trips to Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Libya, that's not around the freaking world, okay? That's in the Middle East and North Africa. Libya at the moment of Gaddafi's fall. He returned home to Roubaix in France without anybody's knowledge. If he did that without anybody's knowledge, how the fuck do you know? Huh? He reappeared on the radar in late 2013 when he was spotted in Turkey. If he's doing this with anybody's knowledge, for fuck's sake. How does he do any of this? How does he go to Afghanistan? How do they know he went to Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Libya? How do they know they reappeared on the radar, okay? When he was spotted in Turkey. He has 3 wives, aged 20, 28, and 39. He's a MILF hunter. They're all with him in Syria. He is the father of at least 3 boys under the age of 13. The 2 eldest are already fighting on the front in Syria. Of course, no proof of any of this, like I said before. Recently, a journalist friend called to tell me he'd learned from a reliable source that there was a fatwa against me. And of course, no proof of that. It's just a reliable source, you know. Source tells me this, source tells me that. What the fuck does that mean? You could be lied to, or you could just be lying. I spent hours searching the web. After a while, I found a video about me that's not linked here at all. It shows me wearing Melody's veil on my couch. There's no audio, but it does include cartoon characters of a devil and French and Arabic subtitles. I've seen the video only once, but I remember every word. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. Some names have been changed. NRL is a pseudonym. This is an edited extract from The Skin of a Jihadist by Anna Israel, published by HarperCollins next week in an ebook and on June 4th at $12.99 in paperback. Buy it for $9.99 from bookshoptheguardian.com. This article was amended on 27th of May 2015. An earlier version said that ISIS controlled Urfa in 2014. This has been amended to say that ISIS was active there. A description of the Turkish city of Kulis as Kurdish controlled has been removed. If anyone has a... Yeah. I can't do the voice anymore. This is so retarded. Okay, if anybody actually has can find a link to a video that resembles this, please send me the link. I'm not Mitch Connor, and this has been Fairy Tale Story Time.